Welcome in, everybody, to another episode of MLS Monday by Scarves and Spikes. Tyler, Henry, Sydney here with you guys.
What's going on?
We have a pretty full show. It was kind of a busy weekend.
A double match week,
MLS.
too.
Yeah, double match week. I mean, we had the Club World Cup ending. Talk about that way later on if we have time, but we have a lot to dive into. But how are y'all doing? How are y'all feeling?
I'm feeling good. Double match week. Let's get to it. Henry.
Yeah, we had a lot of soccer over the past week, and it feels like with Club World Cup and the league and Gold Cup, it's been nonstop. And I feel like this week, out of all the weeks so far, has been the one that's like less chaotic, and it's going to pick right back up very, very soon with Leagues Cup kicking off in a few weeks now. So, I mean, we have a lot of action.
About Leagues Cup. I almost forgot about Leagues Cup. Like you said, it's coming.
All-Star game right next week. We got so much stuff going on, man. I'm so
yeah. It's a busy time, and you know, this is that precursor. We've been kind of talking about it, the precursor to the World Cup and like kind of the appetizer. And you know, it hasn't come out yet, but this is not exactly how next summer is going to look. And next summer, is going to be even more insane in a lot of ways because of possible changing of schedules, the actual World Cup coming here. If you think it was busy over the past month, wait till next summer.
Possible changing of venues too, to indoor venues, depending on what Infantino is saying about World Cup. I feel like we'll get to that bridge when we come to it, or across that bridge when we come to it. But guys, match day 24 in the books, match day 25 ahead of us here. And I think the question we were all asking, we're trying to answer just internally here and share with the class here is favorite moment from
we're just diving into it like week. That. Okay.
Well, do you have something you want to share before we do that?
We're gonna keep diving in and move us along, but you're good.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Favorite moment from this week in MLS. Hell is Real Derby. Cincinnati taking 2-0 lead. We'll talk about that a little bit in depth, but Cincinnati taking 2-0 lead. Columbus, though, coming back 4 goals to turn the tables. I feel like Hell is Real, more often than not, the past few years has been a very, very tense affair with so much on the table for both sides. Cincinnati now a point back at Philadelphia in the Supporters' Shield standings. Columbus right there behind them. So, again, just a very tense affair. And, again, we'll talk about that a little bit later on. Hell is Real, but that is mine. Henry, I guess, or Tyler.
Well, my favorite moment, it actually happened not during a game. It was this little clip that the MLS shared on social media of this guy wearing a Borussia Dortmund jersey with Marco Reus's number at the Galaxy game, actually meeting Marco Reus, and you could see just I kind of want to share it with y'all. Let me see if I could drop it in the chat for y'all. Well, not in the chat, but I'll send it to y'all. But it's a really, really cool thing because he's there, he gets his jersey signed by Reus, and he kind of freaks out because it's like oh my gosh, it's my idol moment, my hero.
Right.
It's so cool to see people, you know, just enjoying the game of soccer and you know, just really, really taking it in and feeling the passion. I think that's one of the reasons that I really love soccer, that I love sports, and it's these moments like that that just warm my heart.
What's the saying? Never meet your heroes, right? I feel like that's sometimes it's the case. You meet somebody and that you look up to, and they let you down. But seems like this gentleman, and you know the link is on social media as well on MLS's X account, I guess you can say. Well, yes, that's what it was, this X account. But, just the excitement, just the joy. And this gentleman's face running around the pitch. Well, not just the entire pitch, just running around, excited, glad to meet Marco Reus at Dignity Health Sports Park. On top of that, the Galaxy won. So, another reason to be excited. We'll talk about that match a little bit later on, I think.
Of course. How about you, Tyler?
Yeah, no, I thought that video was really neat. There was a lot of those like heartwarming stories for me. My first thought with this question was hell is real, because what a game. What a freaking game. That had everything that a derby needed, right? But in the interest of providing everybody, Jordan, Bowermaster, appreciate y'all being here, and everybody else. In the interest of giving y'all your money's worth, I'll give you one more, and that is the Atlanta United Unified team. I love seeing the unified team play. I love kind of what they represent. It helps, obviously, that they're amazing at what they do, like unbeaten. And but just, you know, here in Atlanta, and obviously this is our MLS show, but here in Atlanta, like there's a lot that goes into that unified team, and it makes me so happy to be able to see the love that they get from fans. And I think this week, or weekend rather, was the first time that I've seen the unified team maybe get a little bit more love outside of like the Atlanta United bubble. Yeah. And I think that's really, really cool.
Yeah. And they play Toronto FC, and I think every team, every MLS team has a unified team partnered with Special Olympics and all of that. You know, obviously we're talking it from an Atlanta United angle, being in Atlanta, living in Atlanta, but it's great to see. It's always good to see, you know, the athletes and then the partners, the individuals that help with them build the relationships with those Special Olympics athletes. It's just great to see. What all you left to, guys, is the support that they get from the supporters whenever they play in Mercedes-Benz Stadium. You see several fans, not several fans, but several hundred fans staying after the main match, the first team match, to support these individuals, these men and women. And
we're coming in early, because sometimes
coming in early.
Before,
yeah. In the case with this match, it was before the first team match between Atlanta and Toronto. So just a special group, special thing that they do across MLS, certainly here in Atlanta, but really across MLS. And a couple of athletes, or an athlete and a partner, are going to the All-Star game. So Atlanta United posted a video of that, and it was a lot of fun. It was a great message and very inspirational to see them headed down to Austin next week. So
yes, indeed.
Good shout with the unified team.
Thank you. All right. So jumping kind of to a totally different topic now. We had two big ones in the East, two big matches. Ooh. The first one being with some dude named Lionel Messi.
Heard of him.
Edgar, what's up, man? We appreciate you hopping in, hanging out with us. Y'all are on the rise, at least over there with the Galaxy. So good for y'all.
No longer at the bottom of the table, by the way.
I know.
It's amazing what a little streak can do for a team. But no, back in, you know, with Miami and Cincinnati, it was you've got this whole, I don't know. I feel like it's an MLS coming of age story for Lionel.
Back and forth.
Yeah, but it's just the fact that he has had 5 braces in a row in this game before with Nashville. That is insane. I mean, we know, like, it's not like this is a big surprise.
Normally you dread braces, but in soccer it's good. Braces are good.
But
if you know what I'm saying.
I guess the question here is, we kind of talked about it before, but the question is the MVP race over already? Is it done? Like, Evander's there, maybe clinging on a little bit, but has Messi just taken it and ran away with it at this point?
It's too early. I mean, you mentioned Evander. Let's not put the cart before the horse. I know you're not, but still a long way to go. Certainly it is fascinating to see what Messi's doing here in these past few matches, these past 5 matches. Really hasn't missed a beat. Can he keep it sustained? Can he continue it throughout the remainder of the season? That remains to be seen. Same thing with Evander. Can Evander keep it going? Evander's kind of hit a new level in his own form. So I think the big question is, can those two gentlemen keep it going? Messi will get the clicks. Messi will get the views. Messi will get the votes. That being said, Evander is certainly a good shout. Andres Dreyer, let's not forget Andres Dreyer as well. definition of an MVP, by the way, is player most valuable to his team's success, not necessarily the best player. So just sort of throwing that bone out there as a caveat to
popularity contest.
Yeah, exactly. So just throwing that bone out there is sort of a caveat to sort of the discussion about the MLS MVP race being over already. Just give it some time. Some time.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing, though. I mean, if Messi keeps at this pace, it's going to be over very, very quick. I mean, I don't know who's going to be able to keep up with, 2 goals a game until the sun dies. Sure. It's unbelievable. And, I mean, we know who this guy is. He's probably the best player to have ever walked the planet. And he's in this league, and he's coming off, the Club World Cup, where he had his biggest stage since coming over from Europe.
Yeah.
And he's been absolutely killing it on his return. And this is huge for Miami. This is huge for him. He's the first player to score multiple goals in a game in 5 games in a row. He's a 4-time MLS Player of the Matchday winner this season alone. He's actually won the award 10 times. He's
every email every week or twice a week now I get.
Me too.
Lionel Messi.
Yeah,
me too.
I read some of that stuff for MLS in Spanish, and I'm like, oh, it's him again.
Yeah.
Big surprise.
Right.
But he deserves it. I mean, and you see it, and he's already, I can't even believe this, but he's at the top of the Golden Boot standings right now, tied with Sam Surridge.
That's incredible.
6 goals. He actually beats him on tiebreaker because he has 7 assists, and that's the first tiebreaker. So, it's hard to say that he's not kind of running away with it, but it's still technically tight at the moment. Like you said, I mean, Evander, 13 goals, 8 assists. And then Anders Dreyer is probably his closest guy right now. 11 goals, 15 assists. That's 26 goal contributions, leading the league in goal contributions.
You gotta feel like that's your top 3 at this point, right?
Yeah.
Messi, Evander, and Dreyer.
Because they're just so far ahead from everyone else at this point that it's like the three horse race at this point. So I'm interested to see how the rest of this goes, who keeps racking up goal contributions, who keeps impressing, and then what happens as we get towards the end of the season, because then it really kicks into high gear once we start talking about getting closer to decision day. All of these clubs are in the race for the Supporter Shield, theoretically, and they all want the best playoff position that they can get. They're gonna really be ramping up their efforts as we approach the tail end of the season.
Yeah, Tyler, is it over?
Not yet, but I think, and I'll touch on this really quick because this kind of ties into what meme is saying in the chat, that MVP is more than stats. I agree. I totally agree. I don't think it should be a popularity contest. I think it should be like Sydney, like you said, the player who, if they were not on the team,
right,
the team would be drastically different. And I don't know that you can say that about Miami. You're not going to have another Messi anywhere, period. But the team still has a ton of talent that can carry them a long way without Lionel Messi, if we're being honest. And we've seen it. It's happened. Like when they're out, they can still do okay. I'm not saying that they're
I'm going to push back on that, just because there are several games that they do not win if Lionel Messi isn't there because of his contributions, especially in the recent games. I mean, he scored both games against Nashville. If he doesn't score those goals, one of them, by the way, an incredible free kick that just very smart, low driven, curved into the bottom corner. If he doesn't score those 2 goals, Inter Miami does not win that game.
Yeah,
right.
Now, but that's
similarly in other games. There's one that I don't remember who it was against, but he started basically a 2 or 3 goal comeback for Miami to, I don't know if it was tie or win the game, but he started it with one of his goals. And it's not just he's an amazing soccer player. He's the captain of the team because he's a leader. He's a guy that can really grab everyone together and on his team and just say, you know what, we're winning this damn game, right? we're gonna get the result.
All right, I like this. We've gotten into that territory already. Let's go.
Yeah, I mean, he's done it with Argentina. There's a reason he's the captain with the Argentina national team. And they respect him so much. First of all, because he's an amazing soccer player, but second of all, because he's a leader, and he knows how to get make kind of success out of a team that maybe isn't, you're not winning, you're in a difficult spot. He knows how to kind of inspire them to kind of turn that around. I think that's important. That's something that you can't overlook.
No, I agree. I think though, like looking at it from that perspective and kind of what I was saying, without Messi, you have Miami with Busquets, Alba, Suarez, and then the young guys that they brought in, the U22s who were actually doing a really good job.
Right.
On the other hand, if you were to take Evander out of Cincinnati, do you have the same even kind of team at that point?
I mean, you argued Denke, but I mean, he can't carry it by himself.
Well, that's obviously the thing. I mean,
looking at it from that point of view, I see what you're saying.
That's my only thing. And so, that's kind of we had kind of the same conversation last year, but like, I feel like there's got to be a better, I'm going to say legal definition, not legal definition, but MLS's definition of what qualifies you to be the most valuable player.
Well, I just said it earlier, though, like most valuable to your team's success, not necessarily the best player, not necessarily the player with the most stats, the best stats. In this case, it's hard to argue against Messi, but we need to have that discussion like we've been having about other players. Evander, Dreyer, maybe Barabo belongs to this discussion as well. You argue Sam Sturridge belongs to the discussion as well. So I don't think it's over yet. I think we have a long way to go. Messi certainly has given it, a lot of, he certainly has had his say, and he will have his say. Miami have 15 matches to go. I don't know if he'll play every single one of them, but at this point, he looks like he hasn't missed a beat.
Yeah.
I will say just one last thing. Sorry to just kind of leave that where it is. There are, I count 10 games this season where if Lionel Messi is not there to score or assist goals, Inter Miami loses the games. 10 games this season. Several of them were wins. I'm trying to count them right now, kind of on the fly. At least 6 or 7 of them were wins. And then the rest of them were draws. If Lionel Messi is not there, Inter Miami loses those games.
Yeah, this is kind of looking at a vacuum, though. I see what you're saying, but it's kind of looking at a vacuum. I mean, that's not to say that other players will step in and score in his place. But I do see what you're saying. Fact is, without Messi, that team is totally different. You still have Suarez to carry the goal-scoring burden. You have, Benhakramaski, you have the younger players, other players who have been effective for Miami. But at this time, Messi, you take him out of the equation. Who knows where this Miami team will be? Probably still near the top, but certainly not having the success that they're having right now.
Yeah. And then staying on the Miami train, and I will preface what we're about to talk about with my semi-annual public service announcement.
Gosh, here we go.
Oh, no.
My semi-annual public service announcement is,
yes,
when you're perusing through the social media world and the internet in general, and your favorite podcast, Scarves and Spikes, who will never let you down.
Ever.
You should always check the actual username of the person providing
I know where this is going.
I shouldn't trust Tom Booger, is what you're saying.
Do not trust Tom Booger. I appreciate a good fake account.
You're telling me you don't want those booger bombs?
Not even a little bit. Not even a little bit. This man is on Booger Sugar, aka I probably shouldn't say that. Never mind. Anyway,
no,
we get like way off track.
Be careful.
Be careful. Yes, but also be careful of usernames. Make sure you are checking the real Tom Bogert, the real Fabrizio Romano, the real Cesar Luis Merlo,
the real Ben Jacobs,
the real Ben Jacobs,
yeah.
Who Tom and Ben have both, gone kind of back and forth, and Fabrizio even jumped in on it, I think, yesterday. but Miami is advancing and things are looking well somehow for Inter Miami to sign Rodrigo De Paul.
Something's got to give. I mean, right?
Don't understand. It's wild to me. But what do y'all think?
Something's got to give. I mean, it's just, he's a terrific player, but who does he step in for? Are there rumblings like Busquets will retire or something like that? I don't know. I don't know. Is there going to be like the
DP or is Suarez the DP?
Suarez definitely.
It's Alba, Busquets, and Messi.
Alba, Busquets, Messi.
Okay.
Suarez
is not a DP.
High temp player.
Busquets has got to retire. That's the only thing I can think of.
Conversation around Miami is Busquets has lost a step.
I mean, he has. Atlanta
he's old.
ran all over Sergio Busquets every time he's played, and that's just being honest. I'm not trying to be like a homer, but like, look, Atlanta sucks right now. 36
years old.
Yeah.
Does he take a ambassadorial role somewhere, or does he join
whatever Lionel Messi tells him to do?
Does he become a minority owner or something like that? An advisor to the owner or the front office?
It wouldn't surprise me.
Gently push him out the door saying, it's not you. Or it's not us, it's you. Or it's not you, it's us.
No, you put all the blame on him.
Nah, it's you.
Oh, you mother.
Right.
No, Atlanta can hire him as a midfield coach. I'd like that. Yeah.
But the money. No, you have to, we joke around about it, but you have to find some way to get him into the roster because he'll command a DP slot easily. The potential fee that Tom and Ben are talking about is $50 and $20 million, which, do the math, that would approach an MLS record.
Euros. That's
Euro. Sorry,
Euro. $1 million at this point.
Yeah, it's about on par. I'm about on par with the dollar, but that would be near an MLS record. So automatically, just like that, he comes in with the expectations of, you're coming in for 8 figures. You're going to need to perform right away, and it's a different league. It's a different environment. He's going to need to hit the ground running for Miami. But Henry Tyler, I just don't know where you fit him. I don't know what roster mechanics you do, hint, or wink, nudge, to get him into the roster outside of a DP, maybe Busquets retiring or leaving the club or something like that. So I don't know. It's interesting. He's a big player. He's a big name. I just feel like, again, we see another one of Messi's buddies joining Inter Miami.
Henry.
It'd be interesting to see how that turns out.
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard for me to think that Miami would be pushing as hard as it is for this if it didn't have confidence that it would be able to fit him into the roster. I don't know how that's going to happen. The big theory is, as you said, Busquets retiring or somehow coming off that DP slot.
Because if not, Busquets is essentially relegated to the bench, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you buy somebody down?
He's lost a step anyways. So honestly, swapping him for De Paul, I think, is an upgrade now.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, like, he's not going to get time if De Paul shows up because De Paul's.
Does Miami have a buyout? You buy out Sergio
Yeah.
I mean, they have a contract termination they could use.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. It could be that. It could be that they kind of decide, like, sit him down and be like,
buyout, but yeah.
I mean, it could be that they just sit down with him, and if he wants to retire, then maybe that's the easiest way to do it. If he doesn't want to retire, maybe talk to him and be like, hey, we're kind of going on 2 separate paths here. We have this plan. And you're not really in those plans. And it's a mutual termination. No harm, no foul, just like with Giroud and LAFC. I mean, no harm, no foul. It's just what's best for the player and the club. So that could be another avenue. Either way, it seems like it's going to happen. And Rodrigo De Paul, again, codename Messi's bodyguard. He good friends in Argentina, World Cup winners together.
Yeah.
Was that?
You said code name. I like that.
And just looking at how he plays, I think instantly elevates Inter Miami. He's a guy that's not afraid to face pressure. He could really easily just break through midfields and just destroy lines of pressure and just barrel forward with the ball and get it to Messi, get it to Suarez in these advanced positions. So instantly for me, this makes Miami, if they weren't already an MLS Cup favorite, this certainly makes them a favorite.
I have a hot take. I don't know that it's that hot of a take.
Yeah.
Somebody will disagree with me, though, on the internet.
I'm sure.
Which is okay. Besides Lionel Messi, this is the, by far, biggest signing Miami has made.
Well, Suarez, Alba.
Nope.
I'll agree with Tyler.
I think Paul completely changes this team.
I'll agree with Tyler.
I see what you're saying. It's just as far as, yeah, I see what you're
on the internet disagreeing with me. I can't believe this.
I am that person.
I mean, here's the thing, right? We're talking about a guy who is 31 years old. He hasn't exactly, like, he's not in his prime, but he's like just barely out of it. Technically.
Right.
Yeah.
He still has athleticism. He's still a locked-in starter for the Argentina national team.
I'm not doubting his credentials at all. I'm just
and he's a world-class midfielder. Still relatively close to his the peak of his powers. Relatively close. And so for me, I mean, Suarez, absolutely world-class striker in his time. Jordi Alba and Busquets, certainly part of what was Barca's best era back a decade ago, right? But we're talking about a guy who isn't from the past. This guy is the present right now. And so, and that is why I agree with Tyler, because he's not retiring yet. He's not going to retire in a year or two. This guy still has 4, maybe 5 good years of soccer left.
Yeah, I see where you're coming from. Now that you put it like that, I can definitely ride with that. I am interested to see if this gets across the finish line. I mean, sounds like it is very close. Again, I don't know how it's going to happen, but I agree. This has a chance to put Miami over the top. Of course, you never want to, say anything's guaranteed at this point. I mean, just ask Miami fans last year, ask Atlanta fans last year, but I mean, it'll be very, yeah, exactly. It'll be very, very tough to beat Miami. The ball in the fold for the Herons.
So I'll say this real quick. This is my final little take on it before we jump to another big one this weekend, which is Nashville and Columbus. This signing, or what could be a signing, I totally lost my train of thought. I'm gonna straight up
signing is awesome.
Inevitable.
It's a good signing.
My God, that was awful. It was great signing. He's cool. Oh, that's what it was. Argentina. Yeah. The new training ground in Miami.
Yeah.
And Sergio Busquets. It kind of going back to what you were saying, Henry. This might be one of those moments where you look at him and say, all right, whether it's a buyout or a mutual terminate, whatever it is, I'm sure Sergio Busquets holds massive value for the Argentine national team.
Yeah.
And in some way, as a coach, whatever that may be, I think he's already in Miami. He's already established, his buddies down there. Like they live near each other, whatever. Now you have this national team training center that's going to be there. It might be a little bit easier to say, hey, this is what our plan is, but you're here. And kind of from an Atlanta perspective, right? Look at what happened with Quentin Westberg last year. He was out for a concussion for a long time. And that concussion took a long time to heal. But during the time that he was out and not playing, this man was in the books getting his coaching licenses and everything. I think you're going to see a similar situation where Busquets might retire, quote unquote, retire for a year or so, and then pop back up with the Argentine national team, still in Miami.
Yeah, I think give them some scouting for the Spanish team if those two meet in the World Cup in 2026.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, like, and again, I get that he's not
half joking,
but you're not wrong though. Like, I think you bring in a guy like that, no matter what your nationality is, but you bring in a guy like that and say, all right, we're going to lock you down.
Yeah.
You're going to be this particular coach. And, there's that relationship there already. I wouldn't be surprised to see that. So anyway,
makes sense.
Yes. All right. So now that my fan fiction's out of the way, so Hell is Real just happened. The Crew, who just tend to find a way because that's what good soccer teams do, came back 2-0 down to win 4-2 over Cincinnati.
Leave it to I thought it's over as soon as, well, maybe not, but Cincinnati scored twice in the first 5 minutes. I'm like, this is different. Then Columbus comes back, scores the next 4 to win.
That's what they do. But
like you said, good teams find ways to win.
Yeah.
And Columbus, even though they're back in the standings a little bit, this is still a very good team. I feel like we kind of wrote them off just a little bit. Some people wrote them off, said, if Cucho gone, this team won't be the same. And, what do? They're just still the hunt. They went 6 winless in May, early June, and then all of a sudden, they're back in the hunt. 5 straight unbeaten, 4 wins in the lot, or 4 wins in the draw. So rumors of the demise of the Crew is what I'm saying is greatly exaggerated.
They find a way. Henry, what you got?
Yeah, they do.
Good.
I mean, it's just a good result for the Crew, and you always want to beat your rivals, especially when it's this type of high-profile thing, right? It was a matchup at the top of the East, and it was important for the Crew because they had fallen a little bit behind. Like a couple months ago, they had that little slump, and now they're back and they're rising, and it's hard to count them out of potentially really swiping this supporter shield race, like potentially. They're making additions, they're making some moves. I think it was today that they announced Hugo Picard, I think is his name, the midfielder, highly rated, especially if you follow a certain Twitter account by the name of Zilf. Shout out to him because that's one that he's talking about all the time. But yeah, it's huge for the Crew, and like you said, it's hard to replace a guy like Cucho Hernandez. It's hard to see a way when a player like that leaves. But Columbus has done really, really well, and Wilfred Nancy has really coached the side very, very well. So good for them.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. And the thing is, like, Nashville, Columbus coming up, like, we can spend all the time on Miami because that's just kind of been where the big stories are at. But you have an Eastern Conference that is an absolute, I hate using the word gauntlet because I feel like it gets thrown around way too much.
Crapshoot.
It's a crapshoot. I was going to say cluster.
Yeah. It's a family show, though. Yeah. Sometimes, at least.
At this point, you have 2 points separating first, which is Philly at 43, and then fourth, which is Columbus at 41. Wow. And then Miami is just near that with 38, and they have 3 games in hand because of all the crap they've missed with Champions Cup and World Cup and everything else. Henry, I'll jump back to you first, and then Sydney. Who are your favorites to win the East, and why? And does it matter if Miami signs Rodrigo De Paul?
I think it certainly matters. I mean, like I said, if they get him, to me, they become MLS Cup favorites. That team is just instantly improved. So the reporting around Rodrigo De Paul makes me seriously think that it's going to happen. Again, we don't know how, but it's going to happen probably.
It's going to happen.
And we're talking about an excellent player coming into this already great team. Lionel Messi in his best form since he's arrived in MLS. And this Miami team just clicking on all cylinders. So for me, it absolutely has to be Inter Miami that wins the Eastern Conference and wins the Supporters Shield for the 2nd season in a row.
Yeah, hard to argue. I mean, the only thing with Miami is, can everybody stay healthy? Can Messi stay healthy? We all know last year, he had that injury, and Miami still were able to win games. But I think the big question is, can he stay healthy? Can Suarez stay healthy? Can De Paul, when he comes in, if he comes in, can he get fully integrated into MLS the way they hope, especially based on the amount of money they're paid to bring him in from Atleti? So that's the big thing for me. Philadelphia, I don't know. They're a good team, but I don't know if they really convinced me that can keep up with a team like Miami. Same with Cincinnati. Nashville, really good team. One of the surprises, certainly, of MLS in 2025. I don't know if they're able to really keep up with the talent that Miami has. And then same with Columbus. I'll throw Columbus in there. Now, Columbus, from a tactical standpoint, certainly maybe a superior team, but when it comes to pure talent and sheer talent, I think Miami is the favorite for that reason.
I could roll some dice.
Yeah.
And just pick any number of reasons why I think any of the top 6, I'll give it to Orlando, could possibly go.
Nah.
But I'm not.
I think you might be reaching a bit.
But I think at least they're only 8 points behind at this point.
Only 8?
Only 8.
Is 8 sound like not too much to you?
Well, I mean,
it's not impossible, but I don't.
Considering the schedule,
it's like 3 wins behind.
So I'll say something equally as irritating, and I will say that it's Nashville.
Ooh.
Nashville?
Yep.
¿Por qué?
Because they have had 2 goal scorers, like that's their job, that are doing what they're supposed to be doing, and Sam Sturridge and Henny Mukhtar. And I will take my MLS hat off, put my Atlanta hat on for 2 seconds and say, this pains me to say this. All right, taking that off, putting the MLS one back on. I think BJ Callahan has them playing the type of soccer that perfectly fits the personnel they have on that team. I'm not counting Miami out, especially if the Rodrigo De Paul transfer goes through.
Yeah.
I think if he gets here, it's really, really hard to bet against them. Really hard, because that guy, like I said a minute ago, will change that team for the better in more ways than one. But there's something about Nashville that I really like. Again, the Atlanta side is pulling on my ear and making me angry, but I have to give credit where it's due. And I think that's kind of my weird, like, top 6 dark horse pick to take the Supporter Shield.
Yeah, I'll just say this real quick. Miami, or Nashville, I should say, has a U22 slot, so it's going to be interesting to see what they do with that in the summer. Do they want to use it? Do they just want to bank it for another time or next season? So that's maybe a twist in the tail for Miami, certainly. So let's see what happens with them. Let's see how active they are in the transfer window. Let's see maybe if they try to clear the books to some extent and bring in some players, some TAM level players, and maybe U22 player that can kind of try to push them over the top and maybe get them, Tyler, to a place where they can compete with Miami.
Yeah, for sure. Zilf, it seems like you're just joining us, and we were just talking about you in the best way possible, by the way. Just want you to know that. But we do have a little bit more Eastern Conference stuff to talk about, and that is another coach firing. Yes.
Someone got fired.
Rodrigo De Paul. Well, you're right. Right. Rodrigo De Paul is going to go through. We all know it. You're absolutely right. But DC has fired their coach, Troy Lesesne.
Yes. It was coming.
It was after the 5-2 Open Cup loss to Nashville. Why now?
Get a head start on 2026. I feel like this year, if you're DC, is kind of washed. But I mean, DC, right? They haven't been very ambitious, though. They don't spend. They haven't gotten any help from Benteke. They're losing football matches, and they just look bland and inspiring. So it's just tough to. Troy Lesesne was not the problem. Ownership's the problem.
Mm-hmm.
General manager is the problem. Like, spend money, make your team better. You traded Matthias Klick to Atlanta United, but you're still holding on to this DP slot. I mean, yes, you do have a DP slot available, but why? Why? It just It just doesn't make sense. It's just, Ali McKay has just made a poor move that has weakened his team, but along with that, brought in nobody really outside of some decent players to help Christian Benteke. And you see, when Benteke is out, as he was the past few weeks for DC, this team suffered. They had no goal scoring. Even when he's in. Yeah, but certainly when he's out, they have no attack. They have no creativity up front, and they're just a bad team at this point. And I feel like they're just pushing their eggs to 2026. Sadly, if you're a DC fan.
I kind of feel for Troy Lesesne because he was in a very crappy position with this team and the roster situation that they were in last season. You don't make the playoffs. The only reason you're even close to making the playoffs was Christian Benteke, who won the Golden Boot despite the team not making the playoffs, which, by the way, first time that happened since 2013.
Wow.
Vancouver Whitecaps, Camilo Zambeso won the Golden Boot, and Vancouver didn't make the playoffs. So this is the second time in MLS history that ever happened. And, I mean, Benteke, again, is giving you a fighting chance. I think without Christian Benteke, this season, DC is probably in the spoon contention. Like hardcore spoon, probably holding it at this point. And also just Mateusz Klich, one of your DP slots being tied up in Atlanta. It seems like they're also trying to kind of reset their roster because they're bringing in all this young talent, right? They traded with Atlanta for Garrison Tubbs. They acquired Jose Kajima through a trade with it was trade with San Diego because they had drafted him in the expansion draft, if I'm not mistaken. So you've got more young talent. It's like they're trying to rejuvenate this team, but at the same time, they're not quite getting the quality there. And so it's unfortunately not a great position for Troy Lesesne because he's having to kind of put this Franken team together somehow. And it just doesn't work that way. And unfortunately, it has to end for him this way. But yeah, I probably for the best for DC, you need a new start. And it looks like they got one 6 hours after announcing Troy Lesesne's departure. In Swiss manager René Weiler, I hope I'm pronouncing that right.
I think so.
Well, they haven't announced him. It's a rumor, a Tom Bogert bomb, not a booger
not
bomb.
a booger bomb.
Okay, we made sure we checked with the right guy, but it seems like they have agreed terms with him. Just a little bit about his resume, by the way. He recently coached Servette FC, where he won the Swiss Cup in 2023, won the Belgian League and Super Cup with Anderlecht, and Egyptian League and Super Cup with Al Ahly. So he's coming in with a winning pedigree in different leagues, but can that translate to MLS is the big question.
It's just underwhelming, though, Henry, Tyler. Just underwhelming. I'm looking at his numbers in Servette. 24 wins, 14 losses, 20 draws. So not really the most inspiring performance there. Kashima before that, 19-8-8, left the club by mutual consent after 1 year. Ali, of course, he had tremendous success there. That really one of the big clubs in Egypt, though. So I feel like low-hanging fruit there. But, I mean, outside of that, I mean, just his success has been limited. So I don't know. It's just seems like another underwhelming move by DC ownership to they want to bring in a new voice, but it's a voice that I don't know if it really inspires fans. I mean, it's just you had Jim Curtin available. Why not Jim Curtin? Why not Peter Vermees? Give him a call. See what he's up to. Why not Gio Savarese? 3 individuals that know MLS, have coached in MLS, have very significant reputations in MLS, and it's nothing against René Weiler at all, but it's just you had a lot of options for winning options that you can produce from MLS. It has to work out though, because you don't want to start this cycle 2 years from now. But going back to what we were saying earlier, you got to give them the roster. this ownership has not spent. This general manager has not put the team in position to be successful. Will that change in the summer transfer window? We'll see, but I don't know. I'm not blown away by it, but I'll have to see how it pans out, Tyler.
Yeah, screw DC United's front office. Honestly, I think that was a crappy thing.
How do you really feel?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not using the words I feel like I should say.
And you're not even a DC United fan.
Yeah, you're right.
But I feel so bad for Troy Lesame because, like, when this whole thing came out about Renee Weiler, it was like, oh, so y'all have been talking for a long time. Like, y'all have been having.
You just call him up 6 hours later and just say, "Hey, do you want the job?" This has been in the works.
Like, this is the thing. Like, it went back into this like months ago, right? Yeah. And so it's like
it's premeditated.
It is murder, but like the fact that y'all, the front office, any front office, but the fact that like DC's front office could look at the way this roster is set up and say, "Yeah, screw the coach." That's what we need to do. That is like malpractice. That is so garbage. It irritates me. Like, I feel bad for DC fans. I went back, like, so the beginning of this season on this show, I said multiple times, DC has a cultural problem. It's not just players, coaches. It's a cultural problem. Like, their front office has been awful. The decisions that they made, the ownership, all of it has been crap. The stadium, crap. Like, everything is crap. Yeah. And yet y'all just want to sit here and fire coaches. Right, well, yeah, but still, I mean, it's
not the stadium.
But like, this is what you decided you were going to do, is just change a coach again. Like, get out of here with that crap, man. Like, you know, so one of y'all, I think maybe it was Henry, you said without Christian Benteke, this team is firmly grasping the wooden spoon in their hand. And so because I agree with you, and I just wanted to know by how much they would be if it were not for Christian Benteke and taking away game state and all the other crap and just looking at his goals and contributions and the points that would have been lost had he not been in that game or those games. They would be on a grand total of 9 points right now.
Oh gosh.
You're probably right because barely anybody else has scored for them, right?
Well, that's the thing. And that would be 6 points behind the Galaxy and Montreal, who are both on 15 points.
Dang.
Yeah.
Now, you've had some players step up, I will say, but not to the degree that they need to, right? And again, so like, you have a guy who single-handedly did it all last year and won the Golden Boot. And from a front office perspective, your first thought is not, we should go get a number 10 that can give him the ball. Blows my mind.
Well, you had one a few years back and you didn't hold on to him. So
right, but that's the thing. It just it irritates me, man. I'm like, did I feel bad for Troy? I really do. But anyway, that ship has sailed. The LA Galaxy beat them. Shout out to our friend Edgar over in LA.
No new coach bump.
Yeah.
Nope.
The LA Galaxy does not last anymore, so good for them. Ricky Pooch is back training. Any thoughts on the Galaxy before we fully dive into the West?
Like 2 wins in a row. Oh my gosh. They're learning how to win games again. They've won 3 now. This is great news for Galaxy fans. And again, it's not just that they're winning games, it's they look like themselves while they're doing it. They look like the Galaxy of 2024, playing some beautiful soccer, attacking very, very well. And Marco Reus is really living up to what Galaxy fans imagined of him when he first signed. He had been kind of quiet ever since he arrived. But now he is shining and at the best time. That, the Galaxy really need this right now. And Ricky Pooch, like you said, back in training. Who knows when he'll be back, but now we know it is very, very soon. By the way, sooner than I would have expected. His ACL was before December. MLS Cup, December.
Yeah, it was the conference final.
What is that, like 7 months?
Yeah. I mean, put it like him, like he knew he was going to want to be on that training ground as quickly as possible, though.
Yeah, and maybe that has a psychological effect on it too, right, Sydney? Because seeing your number 10, you're the biggest player on that team right now, just getting back in there. I think that also gave them a little bit of a boost, and it's good that they won that game, because this weekend, guys, we got El Tráfico. That's going to be a fun one, isn't it?
I'm excited.
If the Galaxy win El Tráfico, obviously they'll be 3 in a row. But if the Galaxy win El Tráfico, Steve Gerardo may just say, I'm done for the year. Forget this final stretch of matches. I'm just leaving now. Go ahead and get your new coach in right now. I'm done.
Sim to end of season.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, really quick, did you see the rumor? I think it was a rumor. I can't remember who. Again, check your sources. I don't know who said this, but about Peter Vermeer. It might have been.
That was Booger.
It was
really?
That's
amazing. It made me laugh. I was like,
no, sorry. The fact that you gave the disclaimer like 40 minutes ago.
I know. I had to do my PSA just in case it came back. I saw that and I was like, what the? I'm half asleep. This
the Booger
no
strikes
sense.
again.
Peter Vermees. No. Anyway, carry on. Carry on.
No, wow. I mean, go ahead. I mean, what do y'all think about the Galaxy and them going into this El Tráfico?
Tough ask to beat LAFC, but I mean, it's El Tráfico throughout the record books, I guess. Really.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a little upset that they didn't. Now, to be fair, you do have to get through Austin, which that's maybe I'm not saying you to get through them like they're a brick wall and they're going to stop you, but like it's still midweek game, quick turnaround, and LA Galaxy just doesn't have a lot of backups that they can rely on, and I think that's going to be a factor.
Yeah.
But
Austin, just quickly, by the way, and I'll say LAFC too, but Austin, dealing with the loss of Brandon Vasquez for the year. But although LAFC just quickly out there, Aaron Long sounds like he's lost for the year with an ACL. So just want to note that as injuries that impact the next two opponents that LA Galaxy would play.
Yeah. 2 very significant injuries.
Yeah.
And again, like as far as this Austin game, I'm not as concerned for LA Galaxy. Austin hasn't been fantastic. Yeah. Their attack has struggled at times, and it's going to struggle even more without Brandon Vasquez. So I think that the Galaxy, I'm going to be interested to see how much they rotate. But for me, this is a game that they should be able to win.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. I always enjoy El Tráfico, no matter what it is.
Yeah.
And no matter the circumstances behind it, I think it's the best derby in MLS, and Hell is Real is a very close second to me.
Yeah.
Because it's natural, right? It makes sense. Mm-hmm. But like, I really wish that MLS would have stuck to the July 4th El Tráfico. I enjoyed that as a very short-standing tradition. I thought it was so much fun, but that's another topic for another day. But the West in general, we'll hit on the West real quick. San Diego, they're staying ahead. They're still playing really fun soccer. I enjoy San Diego. One of my favorite teams to watch. I think we've said it multiple times, but they're just fun to watch. They're enjoyable. 2-1 win over Chicago. Andre Stryer, MVP conversation again. Who put this in the freaking notes? You jerk.
Henry.
MLS. He literally is.
Yeah. You know who else is up there? Miggy.
He's not. Don't lie.
No, he's right. Anyway, carry on.
No, but just talking about San Diego, they have 3 very winnable matches against Toronto, Vancouver, or 2 very winnable matches against Toronto, Vancouver. I'll throw Nashville out there as well. 3 matches at home, straight matches at home for San Diego. So it's another opportunity for them to move more up the table than they are. We'll talk about Vancouver in a little bit. Vancouver have kind of hit a rough stretch. Nashville really have a terrific season. Toronto are not. So I think these 3 matches are key for San Diego to continue to establish its dominance in the Western Conference and really continue to emerge as a team that we'll have a lot to say about who could win MLS Cup when it's all said and done. Are they to the level of Miami? No, but I mean, this is just a tremendous job that Mikey Varas is doing, and Tyler Heap's putting that roster together. We'll see. Can they maintain it over this next number of matches coming up here toward the back end of the season? But another win for San Diego, another tremendous performance from Andres Stryer.
San Diego versus Miami would be an MLS Cup final that I would pay to watch.
Yeah.
Tons of stars, like two high-power offenses. It would be goals galore. But both of them aren't really great defensively, so goals galore. I would pay to watch that.
The Beaches derby, East Coast, West Coast derby.
Exactly.
Yeah. No, I agree. And so we're going to end up touching back on San Diego throughout this entire Western Conference chat.
Yeah.
But the other one, Minnesota, have worked their way up to second in the West, and they beat the crap out of San Jose 4-1. The question we have here is, what are they doing that is making them so significant?
Tani Oluwase is, just a player that has emerged as a tremendous source of attack for them. 9 goals, 8 assists. Last year, he was able to play himself into the Canadian international team. This year has just picked up right where he's left off. So he's not a superstar by any stretch of the imagination, but he is a player that has been very key to their success other than Minnesota. And I'll say this about Minnesota. They have a DP slot available if they so choose to use it, or they can go to DPs for U22 players because they have a U22 spot available. So what will they do to improve their team in the summer transfer window? Can they add one more piece to really push this team over the top? They traded, and in fact, I'll just say this, though. I just remembered they are in the process of trading Sang-Bin Jong. So that will open up another U22 slot for Minnesota. So Sang-Bin Jong is being traded to St. Louis, and then Devin Paddleford, defender, is being sent on loan to St. Louis. But the big one, of course, Sang-Bin Jong, like I said, U22 players. So will Minnesota, again, are they going to use those 2 U22 slots, or are they simply going to use that 13 DP slot and improve their team? I say they're going to go all in on U22. I don't think they trade Song unless they were looking to go all in on U22 players, or they can do both. U22 and a DP. So intriguing to see what Minnesota will do with the transfer window coming up here in the next few weeks, Henry.
If I were in that front office, I would go the DP route. I mean, we're talking about a team that is firmly in the race here in the Western Conference and even potentially the Shield. They're, I believe, 2 or 3 points off the top of the Supporter Shield. I say go for it, man. I mean, you're performing very well, and for me, the biggest part of this is that strike partnership between Tani Oluwase and Kelvin Yeboah. Tani, as you said, 9 goals, 8 assists. Yeboah, 7 goals, 2 assists this season. They've been absolutely fantastic. They've just absolutely murdered teams on counterattacks because they're that freaking fast, very skillful, very they work very well together, and so. They've just made this Minnesota team. They just bumped them up a level. And I think you add a DP to that, they just go even further. And so for me, you want to win a title, you want to really push yourself even more, you add another key piece to this team that brings you up a level.
Yeah, for sure. I think I don't really have much to add, honestly, because I mean, y'all hit on exactly like the main pieces. I feel they've got a challenge coming up. I think because I think so. You have LAFC midweek, and then you have Portland on the weekend. Portland has been very up and down, but Portland is playing way better, I think, than most people expected.
Yeah, certainly better than last year.
Yeah, for sure. I don't think it's not like they have a cakewalk Minnesota in front of them, but I think, yeah, I agree. I think you go the third DP route, and just because it feels like this team is one tweak away from being like where they need to be. So I'm gonna start this one off because I have one thing to say about this. Vancouver just got whooped by Colorado 3-0. Going back to the Champions League, they got destroyed by Cruz Azul in the Champions League final.
Right.
And our conversation directly after that was, how do they recover? Because it is a significant loss, and it's also now you have fixture congestion, everything else that they had going on, and they played valiantly through all of it.
Yeah.
And take no respect, nothing away from them. They're a good team. But it does kind of feel like that was the straw that broke the camel's back. And since then, since the Champions League final, they did come right after that, beat Seattle 3-0. So good for them on that one. Then they lost to Columbus 2-1. They lost 5-3 to San Diego. Again, back to San Diego. Yeah. They did beat LAFC. And then you jump ahead to getting beat 3-0 by the Galaxy, which was the start of the Galaxy. Like, where did that come from? Then they had a Canadian championship match against Valor, and then which they won 2-1, and then they just got beat by Colorado 3-0. So what is going on with Vancouver?
I mean, you kind of hit on it. I mean, that defense is really leaky at this point. That's 6-9 or 11 goals you've allowed in this span, or 13 goals you've allowed in this 5-match span. So they need to get better at the back, certainly. Brian White seems like he's kind of leveled off. You do have Ryan Gauld coming back, getting him worked back into the team. So you have to hope that he can get integrated after being out for so long. But yeah, it does sound like they've kind of hit a wall. They need to get things right. They have Houston coming up. They have San Diego coming up in that reverse fixture now at Snapdragon Stadium. And then Sporting Kansas City, San Jose, Houston again, reverse fixture there at BC Place. So a critical 5-match stretch for them to hopefully get things right. They'll still make the playoffs. They'll still get in easily. I don't know if this is a Shield team anymore, but yeah, I think the vibes are kind of low if you're a Whitecaps fan, and they definitely need to get right sooner rather than later, Henry.
The excuse before was they're reduced in numbers because Brian White and Sebastian Berhalter with the national teams, guys are responding to call-ups or injured, whatever. But a lot of these guys are back now, and they were part of that 3-0 thrashing. And it's concerning, to say the least, for Vancouver, who were grinding out all the results to start. And it seems like we've reached the midpoint of the season. You took that one big loss, and you just haven't gotten back up from that. At this point, I don't know how they do, considering the calendar that they have ahead of them. I mean, Houston isn't too much of a threat, even though they are kind of growing a little bit. But the return leg at San Diego, having come off a 5-3 loss against them, that's a tough one. San Jose, who seem to be kind of I call them the two-face of MLS, because it's like they flip a coin, and then if it lands on heads, they decide to just be like the best team in the league and just like demolish teams. And then if it lands on tails, they're just like crap. So if you get them on the wrong day, that's probably going to suck.
Yeah.
But yeah, for Vancouver, they need to figure their stuff out. And also, I was looking at some Twitter earlier, and apparently there is an offer for Pedro Vite. So if he leaves, that midfield is significantly weaker. He is such an important part of that. I mean, we talk about Sebastian Berhalter a lot. Pedro Vite is just as important to me. He gets up, he gets forward, he's press proven. He does so much for this Vancouver team that taking him out of it puts this team in a significantly worse position.
But then quickly, if they do sell Vite, they have a U22 spot opened up. And just like at the roster profile, Kubas is their DP along with Gauld, so they have an extra spot if they want to use it. Or they can sign 3 U22 players. They have 1.6 million GAM available, and they have plenty of room, I'm sure, in their books to bring in players again to kind of put them over the top. Maybe you sign a defender, maybe you sign, like you said, Henry, a midfielder, but you have to take stock at this team, and say, hey, how can we make this better? Because these past few weeks, this team has not given a good account of itself at all. And if things don't get together quickly, yes, you'll make the playoffs, but it won't be a long stay there for sure.
Indeed. Really quick, we have 2 more things we're going to hit on, but really quick, y'all go check out scarvesandspikes.com for all your Atlanta United news. Club World Cup just wrapped up, covering everything in Atlanta related to soccer. So y'all go check out the website. Follow us on all the social medias, Scarves, the letter N, Spikes, and then Scarves and Spikes everywhere else. I'm at ATL Pilgrim everywhere. Sydney is at SH Wrights, and what's your other one?
Sid H.Soccer at Instagram and Threads.
There you go. And then Henry, you are H.A. Higuita, pretty much everywhere. Sure. Tommy is at Tommy ATL 96. So y'all go follow all those. If you don't mind, that would be awesome. Like and subscribe on YouTube. Going to get all the plugs out of the way. Patreon.com/Scarves and Spikes. We have a variety of memberships. All of them get you into our Discord, which is super fun. It's a great time. Always all different kinds of conversations going on there, soccer and other, but lots of other, benefits as well. Training ground videos, updates, everything else. So y'all go hop in there, and support, it's local soccer coverage. So we truly, truly appreciate it. 2 more things. One, start here. Who wins the West?
I think San Diego. San Diego is the team that wins the West for me now. It depends on what Minnesota does. So if Minnesota has a strong window, I think Minnesota takes it. But I think San Diego at this point, the way they're built, the way they're constructed, the way they're playing, certainly are the favorites to win the Western Conference. Oh, by the way, they have a DP slot if they so choose to use it. They also have 2 U22 slots if they so choose to use them. So this is a team that is playing really good football right now, with more additions to positions of need that Tyler Heaps feels they can add in that front office. This could be a team that can be even better and could really, really stake its claim as unequivocally the best team in the Western Conference. They already are, but, you get them cooking in the transfer window, they can really, really put even more distance, Henry, between themselves and everybody else on that table.
They're the team to watch for me as well. San Diego, between what you just said, the window that they could have, potentially adding another DP to this high-powered offense, which, by the way, they lead the league in goals with 46. That's a lot. And they play very, very good soccer. Add a DP to that. Again, they could just be out of sight. And also I lost my train of thought.
Twice. Look, I'm not the only one here.
Right.
Oh, that's what I was going to say. Oh, right.
You did it too.
Yeah.
By the way, they have a firm MVP contender where if you don't agree that the race is over, well, then the guy that's keeping it close, Anders Dreyer, is on your team, leading the league in goal contributions with 26 in, 21 games, something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard to not bet for the San Diego side, which is ironic given that before the season, I think a lot of people had them at the bottom of the West. Hey, expansion team, you're doing great right now. Keep it going. We want to see more awesome soccer from you.
Yeah.
For me, it's San Diego as well. I think some of it's thinking with my mind, some of it's thinking with my heart. But I from the heart perspective, I just love watching them play. I really do. They're fun to watch. They're enjoyable. They know what they want to do, and they do it fairly well. They're not invulnerable, as we've seen, but they're fun to watch. I enjoy it. It makes me happy. But because of that, also 46 goals tends to get you a long way in this league. So
who knew?
Yeah, I'll take it. Double Atlanta United's goals. Anyway,
right.
Gosh darn it. You had to bring that up.
Yeah.
All right. So there was one final segment that wasn't on the notes, but we have to hit on it because it's part of our show.
Yes.
And I'll go first because I'm dropping this on y'all kind of last second. But what is your match to watch for Wednesday? I'm going to go with Wednesday.
Yeah.
For Wednesday.
No, you know what? If you just do the whole week, if there's one that you're like this week, that's what I want to watch, pick it. I'm going to go with a Wednesday match, and my Wednesday match is, in fact, the Galaxy versus Austin. And the reason being, I want to see what Austin does with the news that has happened with Vasquez and everything else over the past couple days. I say that because I think, Henry, you said a minute ago, they haven't scored goals, and now it's going to get worse. I think sometimes when you are thrown into the fire like this, it might actually benefit a team like Austin. They can't do much worse scoring goals than doing now, and they have a DP in Brandon Vasquez. Ask any 2018 Atlanta United fan where that sentence came from, and they would be like, what the freaking heck are you talking about? Yeah. But he's out for the significant future, for the whole season for sure. I think this is one of those scenarios where maybe you see things get opened up out of almost out of sheer spite, you know? And then the Galaxy is kind of the story right now in the sense that they've crawled their way from the grave. And they've done maybe later than most of us thought, but they've started on the streak that a lot of us said could happen, which was they're going to suck at the beginning of the year, but then people are going to get healthy and they're going to figure it out. Maybe it hasn't played out fully like that, but they're back kind of at least on a streak, and I want to see where they go from here.
Yeah, and one more thing about Austin, I'll just throw out there before I give you my match. Murto Uzuni, their midfielder, pretty much deleted his social media for whatever reason. So I don't know if he's just trying to get locked in for the rest of the season. But yeah, vibes are pretty low in Austin, to say the least.
Interesting.
Yeah, no, definitely. I'll give you mine. I mean, I'll just go with Wednesday because there's just so many to choose from. A really intriguing matchup, guys. I'll go with this Nashville Columbus 8:30 Eastern time. Perhaps certainly an Eastern Conference playoff possibility, if not an Eastern Conference final possibility. Two of the best teams in the Eastern Conference. You have Sam Surridge, Henny Mukhtar, of course, on the side of Nashville. You have Columbus, Diego Rossi. You have Darlington Nagbe. You have a Columbus team who are riding high after the comeback win against FC Cincinnati in the Hell is Real Derby. So these are two really good teams that are going to be going back and forth the rest of the season for supremacy in the Eastern Conference. Certainly trying to hold off Miami and just being certainly in the mix for not just the Western Conference, but perhaps the Supporters' Shield. Nashville's certainly a lot closer to the top of the Shield standings than the Crew are at this time. Nashville 41, 2 points behind Philadelphia at this point. But Columbus, actually, no, they're both equal on points, level on points, that is. So certainly two teams in the Shield race. And yeah, just an intriguing matchup, 8:30 Eastern time on Wednesday, Henry. That's my match to watch.
Well, I'm going to go with the other 6-pointer at the top of the East. Give me Cincinnati versus Miami, 7:30 on Wednesday.
Yeah.
Talking about two of not just the best teams in the East, but two teams that have two of the top MVP candidates in the league right now. Evander on Cincinnati's side, Messi on Miami's side, both in excellent form, both huge talents. This game just screams excitement to me. So I'm interested to see what happens because whichever team wins, right? Miami wins, they are on the road to really launching themselves to the top of the Shield. They have 38 points, but again, they're 3 games behind. They have 3 games in hand. So a win here puts them in very prime position, especially when you're beating one of your biggest competitors at the top. Cincinnati, if they win this, they could potentially take the lead in the Shield on 45 points. And depending on results elsewhere, I mean, that could go a long way for them. So yeah, it's a game with a lot of implications as we reach, again, the final kind of third of the season.
I like it.
Exciting next few days here, guys. Buckle up.
It's a busy one.
And then honorable mention to Old Trafford on Saturday.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's the one we're all looking for.
Just watch that one. If you need one game to watch over the next week, you have a lot, you should watch El Tráfico, period.
Yeah.
It's a fun week of soccer we got.
It really is. Definitely. It's going
to be a good time.
So, it's been a fun show, by the way, too.
It has. It's been good. Man, we'll be back next week, obviously, for MLS Monday. But in the meantime, we have all these Wednesday matches. So it's looking like probably Thursday for our normal Atlanta United show, I think. Yeah. But we'll let y'all know. Social media, check it. Follow us if you haven't already. And we'll be back bringing you guys all the MLS news next week.
Yep.
This was a fun MLS Monday after.
Yeah. Indeed. Oh wait, Sydney, you got real muted.
This audio isn't. It does that. It's a bug. I don't know.
Lots of soccer to watch. And if you miss any of it, you can come back next Monday for all the updates that you need. We'll catch you up. Promise.
We'll give you the booger bombs.
Yeah, all of them.
All right, bye, guys.